Alrighty, this one's gonna be pretty chilly. Unfortunately, I gotta wait forever for the truck to warm up, but get that out of the way. Shut up, thing. Just a little chilly. Oh, I suppose it helps if I plug that back in. I had the ABS and brake light pop on. Something about the relay circuit, something or other. I don't know, it ended up going away, so of course it's going to take forever for the stupid screen to turn on. So I am quite surprised. I mean, it is freaking been colder and cold. Mirror says -3 right now, but of course it's just about the warmest part of the day. I think it was supposed to be a high of -2, so that says -4. Of course, truck's just going to run off. That's the nature of this freaking injector situation. Oh, loving life, yeah. Let's put it in drive. Make that injector cooperate. It's running pretty smooth. Leave it in gear. As much as the truck's gonna love me for doing this, that's just chewing and relentless, of course. If I get that injector to stay in a semi-copacetic state, this way I'm making it work a little. Pretty well normal. But all the extra injector clatter you could ask for, just a rolling it. White coal. Just gonna pull this shit here. 1200 RPM, just like it would be doing. Except without the EGTs. She's on her own all day, 42 degrees already. There she goes. Boost kicks up. 3 pounds of boost is what the screen says. Better than standing outside and watching her. She's coming around this side. Ah, it's freaking cold out. -4. This side. Focus. I tell you, this freaking thing. Either way, it is what it is. They'd see EGTs, you know, it warms it up pretty quick. Which is good because it's cold out. I gotta grab my wallet, and then I gotta go pick up an axle seal. I guess I can take you for a peek around the Honda here. Just having loads of frickin' fun. I'm doing the axle seal. No, I have to do the axle seal, is what I should have said. Freaking asinine. The axle seal's been leaking. Not that you can tell. There you go. You can see fluid seeping out, and nothing came out when I pulled the axle out. This is just what was underneath there before I even pulled the axle out. Where is it? I can't see it on camera. You can just see how the bottom of the housing's all wet. There's a couple drips. So, axle, brand new Timken axle seal with less than 4,000 miles is leaking already. I'm not blaming the seal. I don't know why it's leaking, but now I had put a new boots on both sides, except they gave me these stupid pull clamps that you gotta pull as tight as you can and then bend them back to keep them from popping out. And this side's holding. You'd see it was leaking. It's just all wet and nasty. But anyway, this side was holding its grease just fine. It's the other side that's not, that let out all the grease. And it's because I tried to get that as tight as humanly possible, which is pretty tight, but apparently not tight enough for the other side. And it did free up with some new grease, and because before it was like really chunky, chalky. It was just clunk, 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 clunk. Ugh, it was horrible. But I was like, you know what? We're gonna repack them, and we're gonna see, because it was A1 Cardone or Cardone, which is new. A1 Cardone is remanufactured, so they're new, but they're Cardone. They're cheap, and I mean, you go look at factory ones, and I believe it's $200 an axle or more. So for OE, and I don't even think you can get one side anymore. So it's just kind of like axle seals. I had just a hell of a time finding a driver's side axle seal for a 3-liter V6 transmission. So anyway, nearby, I should say. Rock Auto's got them, but nearby. Rented a spring compressor tool and got strut bushing done. Unfortunately, this bushing looks perfectly fine. Nothing to report. Not all dried out. Nothing. There's a rubber donut on the bottom here and on the top here. As you can see, the rubber donut. Now, unfortunately, the stinking kit for the new ones did not come with those rubber donuts. Well, that's fantastic. So, O'Reilly sold, it's called the strut rod bushing kit, but they want $33 for it. I'm sorry. I can go buy a whole new strut for $60. Why would I pay $30-some for some rubber bushings? That makes no sense. Now, this strut is starting to leak ever so slightly. It is original. It's a little on the wet side. And it's pretty crusty. So, I had a nasty feeling that if it came down to it, I wouldn't get this horseshoe, U-bone, whatever you want to call it, off, because of how frickin' crusty it is. I'd be better off buying a new one. But the price they wanted for a new one, it was like, we're trying to get that off first. And you'd see the rubber stinking isolator thingy disintegrated, but I don't know what the hell's knocking up front. I did one Google search now, of course. That's, people are having knocking issues on this thing relentless. And before you say anything, everything on the front end of this car is brand spanking new. We're talking this rod, the sway bar link, tie rods, control arm bushings, top and bottom. Every bushing is brand spanking new on this front end. So before you say, oh, it could be this, could be that, could be this, could be that, well, trust me. And then somebody's going to be like, well, it could be your CV axle knocking. No, axles click. They don't knock. And this is only when I go over bumps. This isn't while I'm turning. This isn't while I'm just, coasting. This is when I hit a pothole or something here. And, it's just the classic strut knock. But, and with the front end not having new struts and whatnot, I could understand. So I figure I'll get the strut bushing because they still absorb bumps really good. but this strut's bad. The other one's been replaced before, and of course that's more into the side that's knocking, is the one with the newer strut. But so I don't know, I'm at a loss at where I stop on this car. I'm already like $2,500 to $2,700 into this car, which I paid $200 for. Runs like a dream. Transmission's already struggling. This guy, new, even though it doesn't look like it, they freaking rust right away, but it's got brand new calipers, rotors, pads, wheel bearings are good. Now, I didn't replace them, but they're good. We got new motor mount, transmission mount, we got power steering lines, and obviously greasable ball joints, the whole 9 yards. Everything's pretty much new. Excuse me. Don't inhale stuff. But anyway, you know, it needs a timing belt kit to be up to date. It's got new radiator cadets. It's just got new everything. Where the hell do I stop on this thing? I mean, it runs and drives like a dream. Don't get me wrong. Transmission's on its way out. Needs a rebuild. Did some research on that, and there's like 15 billion components on the inside of the transmission when you take it apart. It's not like taking apart an Allison where it's just, here's the clutch drum 1, clutch drum 2 type of thing. This is, you know, it's replace the clutches and clean the screens and be done. It's 15-in-1 little bearings, washers, and this and that. Oh, overly complicated, you ask me. But needs rear struts for sure. They are pretty well shot. I mean, they're just ugly looking. Yuck. Crusty. And these are knocking too. Obviously, something maybe a little leaky, but the strut is knocking back there. But it'd make a good beater car, runner car, whatever. Gets decent mileage, 21 miles to the gallon. You know, the way I drive, so someone with a lighter foot maybe get 22, maybe 23 out of it, which isn't all that great. And then my Seville got 24, 25, and that was a V8. Weighed a hell of a lot more and had only a few more horsepower. Well, quite a few, but you know what I mean. For power to weight ratio, this thing should be getting like 40 miles to the gallon, but apparently the Honda V6s don't, but the Northstar V8 does, you know. So, but yeah. Anyway, so I gotta get an axle seal, and I'm very skeptical on if it's not going to knock anymore, especially since everybody's having a knocking issue. Oh, I just did all struts and it's knocking again. Well, I don't know what brand you're asking. KYB. It's a pretty decent brand for suspension. And I mean, this is how it came without the rubber donuts, which is ass, but whatever. Alright, sounds like the truck's just about done warming up, so I'm going to go get that axle seal, get that done. Get a new axle, put the strut in, and go to the other side. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.